Exactly. So first of all, let's look at the uppercut, which is everyone's favorite weapon. It seems like sometimes.
So uppercut gets now explosive ammunition as an option, and that's going to be a game changer for how we can play with the gun. So nothing changes on the uppercut otherwise, right? It's the same weapon, but it just has now one additional ammo type you can choose, and that is explosive ammo. Obviously, that comes with some pros, but it also comes with some downsides. So I think, first off, it's probably going to be the first time that anyone is ever going to use dual uppercuts now, seriously, because you can actually do this with explosive. But it has a couple of downsides. For example, you cannot headshot people with it. You cannot one-hit kill anybody with it. So the uppercut receives a major drawback from a balancing side. You can't just run it like a normal uppercut and just keep on headshotting people. And if you don't, maybe the splash damage killed them. No, you have to play them differently. You have to play with multiple hits in mind, and it's a different play style entirely from the normal uppercut. And I think they can easily coexist. Also, obviously, as it's explosive, there is no wall penetration on it. So you are kind of limited to line of sight and try to like shoot around corners with it. And it has a severe impact on capacity with just 6 rounds, obviously, as for the drum, and then 3 extra rounds. So it is a very different playstyle. Just try it out. We don't feel it's that big of an issue. Actually, we had some complaints about it being underpowered in our playtesting, so we keep a lookout for how you guys feel on it on the test server. And we, depending on the feedback, we might even buff it a little bit more if there's consensus about that. But as a first start, just try it out. We expect it honestly to go a bit more into the meme direction, where like it's interesting to play with. It might be in certain play styles, maybe as a follow-up shot, have its purpose. But for example, I don't think you want to run this together with a shotgun, right? Where you really rely on the wall penetration and the punch of the normal hit at distance, where the shotgun doesn't have it, right? So it really comes down to what play style and what kit you want to use it. But again, we have a couple of videos. Let's have a look.
As you can see, this is the splash damage, but it doesn't penetrate.
Yeah, so it just wraps around a little bit, but so like let's play this one more time. So this is basically just like re-shooting roughly in there. As you can see, like if there would have been a lantern, obviously lantern would have burst and all of these secondary things that you can blow up. But in terms of damage, it's actually rather weak. So you need to be really close to the detonation in order to lose a severe amount of health. So this is not the most powerful, but it gives you flexibility. It gives you tactical options, and that's where it's interesting to consider this maybe over the normal loadout, because you have this indirect fire option.
There's a second demonstration of the same, basically, so you can see the little splash on the walls.
Yeah, so something to try out, but we don't feel this is too powerful. It might actually really be underpowered actually at the moment, but we rather start low with it and then give it a bit more beef based on the feedback rather than making it a bit too powerful here. So here, this is where it shines, right? Because the guy is on the ground, so like just like shooting down at a point where this guy basically is exposed to the splash damage quite likely, because the shots will not really go anywhere. They hit the ground next to them. This is where it can be really powerful. But obviously you need to put yourself in such a position to benefit from it. Or if you're level, if you missed a round, it probably still goes like meters behind, and then there's no effect. So you have to be smart how to use this very, very limited ammunition that you have for it. Keep in mind it's special ammo, so that you need like also the special ammo UVU boxes in order to restock, and it's not much ammo you get from that. So keep those shots carefully like spaced out.
Yeah, meanwhile, I started the next video.
Yeah, I can watch it one more time.
This is, by the way, how my firefights go. I know. Not hitting anyone.
So yeah, it actually finishes off with like an aim shot afterwards there. So yeah, it will be interesting to see the new playstyle that might be revolving around it. Again, this will not supersede the uppercut. Like, I don't think this will be having much of an impact. People will use the uppercut for different reasons than this, but this is an alternative use for uppercuts. And you can see here with like using a dual, like we don't have ADS, so like it really have to rely on the area damage, and it will make it very unreliable at distance. But it's a very nice pressure weapon. It's maybe good for follow-up shots. So experiment with it, see what you think where the best uses are, see maybe where you see problems or where you see it's like not strong enough or it's too strong at the moment, and please feedback from the test server to us.
So I've seen some questions about how many shots does it take to kill someone, because in the video we seen like 3 shots on when we saw it from the roof.
So from splash damage, it can take like 3, 4, 5 shots. It really depends on the proximity from the impact point to yourself. But if you were to hit someone with it directly, then it will at least need 2 shots. So you cannot, even if you were making a headshot, it will not kill you with that headshot. So it's a weaker round, and as such, we want to make sure you play this differently. Again, this is up for discussion, depending on the feedback. If you feel it should really have that option to do headshots, this is something we definitely want to consider. But let's first see and wait for the feedback from the test server, how you guys perceive this, and we feel where this currently would be sitting.
All right, and with that, let's take a look at the Nitro.
Yes, so the Nitro only gets one change, and that is related to the Dum-Dum ammo. So as you know, like the Nitro Express rifle on its own has like a 42, 3-ish type of like meters one-hit kill range, because it's an elephant gun, right? It's the most powerful weapon we have in the game. But its true advantage is that it's also good against AI. So it's a very limited use because of the limited ammunition it has, but you can easily use it for fighting bosses, but you can also use it very effectively against other players if you hit. So it's a very good all-rounder gun, but it's hard to use with the sights and everything. Now it has a couple of additional ammunition types, and while we have explosive ammo, which kind of like gives this like a stronger explosion radius, but with reduced ammo, we don't need to talk much about it. It's already in the game, doesn't change. We felt that the Dum-Dum ammo was a bit underpowered and was a bit lacking compared to like, why would you want to choose that over the regular bullets? Because you're kind of losing some of the wall penetration, etc. It's not very good against monsters. So what we wanted to do is to actually make it a little bit more powerful against players. So we increased the one-hit kill range slightly. I think it's by around like 10, 15-ish or so meters. So it should be like in a mid 50 meter range rather than 40 something meter range. So you get a little bit more extra range on it. And obviously, if you don't kill, there's the bleeding effect as with every other Dum-Dum round. But it just is boosted a little bit more towards PvP. So you can use that to specialize against player hunting. But it will come at the cost still, like it is right now already, that it's not very effective against the bosses or other AI. Like you can't just one-hit kill a meathead, for example, right? To just quickly farm a trade. So there's certain drawbacks, and they are remaining unchanged.